Hey, it's Lauren. We had an absolute blast at Philefest. Here's a quick recap. We were honored to be invited to screen our documentary, the X-Files Fan Retrospective, and we spent months preparing our booth. We even joined the podcast special. The occasion called for custom hoodies for the plane ride, and Traveling Scully had to join us for the trip. We checked in with Philefest founders Kristen, Michelle, and Trevor. They had decorated the space with backdrops, so we snapped a few quick pics and then set up our booth. Then we texted Larry Musser, who was one of our very first documentary interviews, to see if he wanted to join us for dinner, and he did. We woke up early the next day to finish our booth, and the floor looked incredible. Autograph booths, vendor tables, and of course, so many X-Files fans. Everyone was super friendly and excited to be there. There were homemade birthday cards to sign, friendship bracelets going around, and even a duck hunt. That night, we were invited to the cast dinner. We arrived a bit nervous since this was the first time we'd be meeting most of them in person, not on Zoom. Everyone was amazing, and we ended up staying through the end. Then we met up with some fellow fans and took a few selfies. They wanted to keep the night going, and we were then invited to a local chain restaurant. It was so much fun. Saturday, we woke up, jumped on the bus, and went back to the mall. Kristen, Trevor, and Michelle packed a full day of programming into the day. There was no shortage of things to do. From interesting panels to an incredible cosplay contest. But we had lost track of time due to booth shenanigans. Thankfully, fellow fan Olivia came by and reminded us our new friend Troy's Millenniums panel was happening shortly. We literally sprinted through the mall and caught the panel. We chatted with Chris and Troy for a bit, then it was back to the floor to pack up and prepare for the evening's activities. We were invited to introduce Dean Haglin's comedy show. We were thrilled. We packed up, grabbed a nutritious dinner, and headed to the show. Dean was hilarious. Everyone loved his show, could not get enough. It was amazing. Sunday, it was back to our booth. Sheila Larkin and Bob Goodwin had given us season 1 crew gifts to help fundraise for the local women's shelter. We do it at every event, and this was really special. We donated over $1,200 thanks to the generosity of X-Files fans and, of course, Bob and Sheila. It was then time to pack up our booth and head to our own documentary screening and panel. We weren't sure how many people were sticking around for the last panel, but we were so touched when we saw that the room was packed. The screening was great, and we enjoyed taking questions from the audience.
Honestly, get watching all those interviews. So the final question, can we all be best friends forever, please?
Yes.
Honestly, get watching.
A lot of people stayed to share with us how they connected to the doc, how much they enjoyed watching it, and how it was touching to hear the stories from the cast, crew, and of course, fans. We packed up the taxi and headed to the airport. We were delayed for hours, but we smiled all the way home. When we landed, social media was flooded with touching posts, photos, and stories. Philefest was an amazing mix of everything that makes the X-Files fandom so much fun. And of course, we loved meeting the incredible cast in person. It was certainly a weekend we will never forget.